Turn off. How's everyone doing? Surprise stream. I was like testing a bunch this weekend, and yesterday I don't remember who it was that I was playing against, but I jumped into a game and they're like, "Hey, are you streaming?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." But I guess I could be. But at the time, wasn't gonna stay on for that much longer. So yeah, I was just gonna do some testing today, and I thought I would stream. So here we are. Um, in terms of updates, I do want to mention since the last time I played, since I was on YouTube, I guess, was Intercontinentals. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. All my videos are on YouTube, and yeah, it was a great time. Um, Recently, well, I guess the day after that was Canadian Nationals, and I was able to defend my 4-year title. So I won Canadian Nationals the next day on the 11th. Played against Eric Whiteblade in the finals, which is a repeat of the last Canadian Nationals. So we went from Edmonton over to Vancouver. Yeah, it was a great time. I played the I played APOC Lat and Ob. The APOC Lat I'll talk about a bit more in a second. And the Ob will might also run a bit. Yeah, there's a great Captain Lat Photoshop that somebody did. But anyways, this is APOC Lat, and I'll probably be playing a bit of this today. If not today, maybe another time. And then there's the Bridgman Ob, which is like an acid spam party news deck. Yo, is that the national champ stock? I appreciate it. I have a fan running in the background, by the way. Can y'all tell me if you can hear it? Because if you can, I'll turn it off. But yeah, let me know. Anyways, this deck. So Bridgman went and played in German nationals. I'm pretty quiet. Okay, I'll just need to get closer to the mic then. Interesting. I guess yeah. I guess my mic is just. I just need to up the volume on my mic, which I don't know how to do that. Hello. Yeah, I'll figure that out. Anyways, Bridgman went and played in German nationals, and yeah, it was they all had a great time. Brandon went as well, representing Canada, and he went and finished second. Bridgman went and finished first, playing the Ob and Control Lat. So obviously now with the ban list, Control Lat is gone. I guess I can start off by talking a little bit about that. So I do just want to jump into playing. So I will do this very quickly, and then I'm going to jump into some boating. Anyways, here's the ban list changes. So Rozeki gone, Pad Tap gone, Preemptive gone, Archive Memories gone, and 419 unbanned, which is very interesting. So we're going to play some 419 today. Rozeki Pad Tap gone, I think was expected. And then the question was whether or not they were going to hit the R plus deck. And they did by hitting Archive Memories. And also there was one preemptive in that deck. So really this is just like to hit the R plus deck, which is, I think, is necessary. Is it good enough? I don't think it is, but I'm not going to talk too much about the R plus because I'm sure if you're playing on JNet, you have seen it enough and don't want to see more of it. Anyways, the preemptive doesn't actually hit this deck because this deck had one preemptive and I actually cut it for Canadian Nationals anyways. So it doesn't, to me, it doesn't touch this deck. Yeah, 419 coming back. Honestly, this is my take on 419 coming back, and it's a thought that I had yesterday. Is basically, I think they went and looked at all the decks that were playing boat because there were so many people, so many IDs playing endurance that they wanted some kind of diversity rather than every runner installing endurance, and they didn't want to ban endurance because they just released it. So how do you fix that? Well, in addition to, I guess you can like ban Rozeki, ban Pad Tap, and hope that an 8-cost console costs too much and you can't install it because you don't have that much money. Or you could unban 419 which probably has a hard time playing Endurance because you have Penny Shaver or you have Paragon or maybe you have Zamba, but you're probably playing Penny Shaver and you're playing like a Reg 419 build with just good stuff cards, which you probably want Penny Shaver. But I've been playing the Boat 419. It's been doing well. So yeah, I'm gonna jump into some games of that. Could be your streaming software is better at filtering out the fan noise compared to on Discord. Yeah, maybe. I'm not happy about 419 being back, but I'm playing Acid Spam adjacent decks right now. Instead, you get 419 credit kiting boat. Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, like Acid Spam, there's so many cards that you want in 419, so deck building is actually hard. But anyways, here's the deck that I'm gonna play. It has no bones, so it kind of does have an Acid Spam issue maybe. And I have not. Yeah, I don't know how to put bones in the deck, but I think you should probably put one bones in the deck. And then, yeah, there's tons of other cards that you kind of want because you can dip into the tag situation by playing more tag cards in Citadel. You can play a third Chesvi. You can play more Amakuas. You can play like another Earthrise, more Pinholes, Inside Jobs, third Falsified. Like there's so many cards that you kind of want. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna jump in. I just wanna jam games. So we're just gonna jam games. This deck is the deck. We're gonna say new bands and streaming. Let's do this. Runner, casual. Okay, that looks good. I guess I'll just change this so that it's at the top so I don't incorrectly select the APOC lat. The APOC lat is, I think, good too. So basically what I did from my Interconts and Canadian Nationals list is I cut the pad tabs because I have to, and then I put in a third APOC, a third Rigging Up, and a Beth. Maybe could cut a telework if I want something, if I want a slot. But that's what I did, and we'll just try it out. Thoughts on putting a Hunting Grounds in? With 419 and Turtles, I can imagine 3x IP block everywhere. Yeah. I think if they're just IP blocks everywhere, you just don't install your your turtle. That's why you only have one. Amakua Synergy is so good at 409. Why one of instead of two? Cut a different breaker. You can find it. Like you have your mutual favor. If anything, I would play a third mutual favor if we want more turtle. Actually, that's not necessarily true. In my Reg 419, I have two turtles. Yeah, it's true. Turtle is really good. Like here's the Reg 419. Yeah, and here I have two turtles. So you very well could play two turtles. Okay, so this is like Acid Spam Prav. Click 1, click 2, click 3, and then we'll just take $1. Is fine. Blueberry Diesel. We found our turtle. Turtle's good. All these cards are good. This matchup gets a little grindy. But yeah, Amako Synergy is good with 419. Okay, so we had a Naked Rashida. Install, prevent, expose. Actually, I didn't pay attention. Did we expose on turn one? I should have looked at that. We didn't. Okay. Install, single advance. Fine. So just trying to bait runs, I guess. But like, if our opponent's just going to prevent the expose every time, which I think is what's going to happen. Bagalter. We don't need Bagalter. The credit kiting's good. Also, the falsified is really good. I almost want to keep the one credit kiting, but I think we need the daily casts. So let's go turtle falsified, name asset, and then install cast. We get hard-hitting news. Okay, we won't get hard-hitting news. Yeah, the credit kiting gets the boat down. We only have one credit kiting in the deck. I'm also getting really excited for Worlds. I mean, that's why we're doing this, right? To help prep for Worlds. Worlds is in less than a month, which is crazy. I'm gonna be flying to Toronto in less than a month. Um, yeah, it's gonna be such a good time. Team tournament, events on the side, and then we jump into standard, and then if we don't make the cut, we play startup. If we make the cut, we play the cut, and we don't play startup. Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend. Spin Doctor. We get a second turtle counter and then install 2. Okay, so we should probably check some of these now. And we can go ahead and laundry if we want. Do we check these? I don't know if we do. We're just gonna sit. Twinning's good. Yeah, let's sit. We can start running now, if we need to. But let's take this opportunity to get our casts ticking. And if he goes double advanced Drago, trash a cast, then we go and run the Drago. And that's kind of okay. Very excited for Worlds, yeah. Planogram for $3. Advance 2 different cards. That's what we're doing. Diversion's good. Is it good enough? It's not amazing. I guess it is good. Yeah, we already have a Shesvi in hand. So let's so they're advanceable. Could be NGOs. I also can't spend Jesvi credits on Turtle when running an empty server. It's just kind of sad. Let's draw another card, put another thing down. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't have Turtle in this, or I don't have Paperclip in this deck, so we can't Mutual favor. We have Mackler. I think we just leave these. And they wanted to get rid of Runner Drip with the bans. I say Daily Cast is not Drip. Daily Cast is $3 to gain 8. It's gain 5 over 4 turns. Install, prevent, expose, advance the card in server 7, take a credit. Oh boy. What's the chance I just click for 4? And he just starts scoring, like Remastered and Crypto Crash. Okay, we'll run server 7. I think if there was an agenda in server 3 or 6, he would have scored it last turn. Maybe there's a Drago sitting in there and waiting. And if there is, oh well. Yeah, okay. I'll just go clear tag, click for 2. Hi! Is Virtuoso in the deck? Virtuoso's not in the deck. We were playing Endurance. I played against somebody playing Virtuoso recently. It's a decent card. Especially in Sable. I mean, well, because we're playing 419. You're playing Sable. I think Virtuoso is a fine card. But it's just competing against so much stuff. You're competing against Penny Shaver, which is really good, especially in the asset matchups. Penny Shaver's really good. Clicking for credits. I think I'm happy to do the same. What ice is in this deck that I care about? Vasilisa I can break. We can like install Twinning. And then just run, I guess? Sure. I don't think I need to do this. Okay. That lets me spend Chesby credits. So I'll pay 2 and get a Twinning counter. Not bad. Let's draw once. Boomerang is good. Probably Gamble's better. Let's take the Gamble. Again, this game is just a money grind. So I'm just gonna stay up on credits. Like he's probably gonna go like, oh, okay, that's not it. I thought we'd see a Drago and then trash Twinning. But that's, yeah, that takes away my threat, but it doesn't help the Corp win the game that much. Install 2 cards, take a credit. So one of those is a Drago, right? And I should run those. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. I take 2 tags off a Check a Scion. Advancing the other card. I think I'll still run that. Okay. We can run R&D here. Worst that can happen is another IP block. Okay. So I can fire. We pay $2, get another Twinning counter, and then clear the tag. I was playing a game yesterday. This deck can get to board states where you have your whole rig set up and you have a bunch of Chesvies, and when you break, you can run somewhere, break with your Chesvi money, and then gain money off your Bagalter. And it's just rude. It's just rude. Um, Speaking of rude, we lost 16 bucks. We go down to 1. Fine. Let's click for 4. This deck not running Miss Bones feels wrong, especially with the twinning in the deck. That's a really good point. Yeah, I was saying at the start, yeah, like probably like a crim deck without 1 copy of Miss Bones is probably wrong. So I need to find 1 copy of Miss Bones at least, and then we'll talk about whether or not I need 2. But I should get 1 copy. Okay, so this is like a check a Scion. I mean, 2 of the NGOs are gone, so we can just laundry our way in there, right? Let's do it. If we find an agenda, then we don't run the other one. If we don't find an agenda, we probably run the other one. Okay, so we'll take that. And then we can draw a gamble and play the gamble because we don't need the boat. Or do we install boat? Honestly, like, mutual favor for Mackler is actually just fine. Yeah, we're gonna bottom boat in this matchup. I expect IP block to be splashed a lot to counter Amakua. Yeah, I mean that was kind of the situation at the start of this, right? At the start of this whole meta. At the start of Midnight Sun was that everybody was playing Turtle and people were countering Turtle. So yeah, it's true. It's true. There's if you're building a corp deck, you should have a plan against Turtle. Double advanced crypto crash, another advancement on the NGO. That's fine. Boomerangs not needed. Ooh, we just drew our Mackler. Okay, we'll take it. Oh, I shouldn't have bottomed the laundry. That's not true. This is fine. So if I play the pinhole, he has to pop the NGO and the spin. So I love this about pinhole. So let's just take $2. Because next turn, if he installs some stuff, we can use pinhole to check one of those cards of our choice. But also, he needs to pop the NGO and the spin doctor before we get there. Okay. So let's do that. I don't know. This feels fine. He has to pop the spin doctor. He has to pop the NGO front. And then I get in, and then he has to choose what card to Prav. And then I could even access the other one. That's funny. We're just getting a bunch of free information. We're advancing that card. What does that tell me? That tells me that this is a card. This is probably a Vig. Well, let's roll a 50-50. Roll 2. If it's a 1, then we're running server 12. If it's a 2, we're running server 13. Running server 13. First accounts. Fine. We'll trash it. We get to use our Chesby money. We get a twinning counter. So good at this game. Now what? Now we just click for credits and play our laundry, I guess. So let's draw once. Falsified is gold. We'll just laundry archives and then take a credit. Just play laundry for money. Just so news costs a lot. Is this what it is to play runner as well? Just credit up and run only when absolutely necessary? I'm too impatient, I guess. It's not generally, but I against Prav. Prav's ID says place an advancement counter on installed card you can advance the first time each turn the runner makes a successful run. And so if you don't make a successful run every turn, then the ID doesn't do anything. So that's why you gotta be kind of selective of when you run and when you don't run. Orbs, how's it going? Is Boat 19 any good? Boat 19. It's been doing well for me. I've only played like three or four games with it, but I've been enjoying it. You don't have drip, so you need to manage your money in a very interesting way, where you kind of need to set up your run refund off Chesvies, and then you need to get your cards installed with your limited amount of event econ. And when I say event econ, daily cast is also kind of event econ. So I can install Macler and Diversion here and get rid of Turtle. Although this ice I might need to break later. That's not bad. Okay, let's play the Blueberry Diesel. Endurance. We do want that. Okay. Bravado. Also good. So this can break... I mean, we can just get another turtle counter and we don't need to install the Macler. That's tough. Very tough. It cost me 4. That's a lot of money. Also, the server 4 is not a VIG. So I'm curious what that is. I could just falsify it. I think we will. If it was Bologna sitting there from server 4, would you have put an advancement? I don't know. We're just going to falsify it. Okay. Is it fairer? Than Control At? It is. It's a completely different thing, so it's very hard to evaluate. Okay, so now we'll just install the Macler happily. So it's this, and then we diversion. I could even go install boat and diversion. That costs me a lot of money, though. What does boat do for me? It does good things. Is that wrong? 8? Okay, we gain 5 back, so this gains me 4 credits. So 8, 13, 14, 9. Cost me 9. And I need to pay 4 to break, which is actually 2 to break, and then I get a refund, which is actually 1 to break. So I end the turn at 18 credits. Or sorry, at 8 credits. That seems okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, it seems okay. Let's do it. I just spent a lot of money. But it's Yeah, I think it's fine. If we advance the ice on server 14, that means it's a mess in a chess foe. We're not advancing, so that means server 14 is not a mess in chess foe. It's kind of like playing against Polana, I guess, in that respect. If you're going to try to draw a lot on the same turn. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. If you're going to run a lot on the same turn. Is it a consideration to stay above 8 credits so you can remove 4 tags after hard hitting against NBN? Yes, totally is. Yeah, 8 is a very important number. Tapeworm versus Rogue Trading, which do you prefer? Rogue Trading is very slow, so I definitely prefer Tapeworm. Like, Krim already has a lot of money. But, so you could argue that Krim has a lot of, like, quick money, and you, in the long games, you might want Rogue Trading, because you don't have Drip anymore, so when the game goes long, you need something that gives you money in the long term. And Rogue Trading kind of does that, but I'd definitely play Tapeworm. But then Tapeworm overlaps with Amakua in terms of purging. Install Mesta Chessfo, card in server 14, take a credit. Okay, so I could just bravado that, but alternatively we can just see 3 cards out of HQ and R&D, which seems pretty good. I think we draw first. Diversion's good. How many agendas are in hand? Because there's like a bunch of tag punishment in this deck, right? I think we run the remote. We could bravado the remote. Spend bow counters, get in. Yeah, it seems fine, actually. I was going to run HQ, but running HQ... Like, I think there's just a bunch of operations in hand. So I don't need to run HQ. Or, well, like, it doesn't do me all that much. So we'll just get through whatever this is. Oh. Okay, so I guess if it's Bologna... If this is Bologna, that's kind of sad. But then I can Diversion. And then we go to 0? Okay, I'll take a Crypto Crash. And then I can Diversion anyways. Let's pay 4, but we're actually paying 2, and then we get $1 back, so we're actually only paying 1. We have 5 twinning counters, and we die to a Zeef Protocol. Mackler's just rough to play. I actually don't mind Mackler. I don't mind it, because there's... Against IP block, it costs you 4 and you get $1 back. And what else is there? There's Border Control. Border Control, IP block, Hagen... like, name another barrier that gets played, right? And if it's bad, we can boat it. So a lot of the times you don't install Mackler, but I don't want to spend influence on a Fractor here. Install card server 14, prevent the exposed credit. So this is a Rashida, would be best case for him. Diversion's really good. So let's keep that instead of the Bravado. Let's draw again to try to find a Dirty Laundry. Didn't find it. So let's run R&D and C3. Are we advancing the card in the remote? We are. Harding News, Mitosis, and Vig. Don't care about those cards. So we could sweep HQ here just to see. And just for information, I think we will. Oh, wait. That's a bad play. We should not be spending bow counters. Okay. Let's see 3. Boom. Okay. Okay. We got it. There's a Spin Doctor there, too. No Bologna's showed up. Yeah. Catching up on bit of chat. I'm just wondering if you think a boat ban is in the cards. Do I think a boat ban is in the cards? So, So here's the thing. Boat was just released. They're not going to ban Boat, right? Drago was just released. They're not going to ban Drago. Uh, do I think it could happen? Yeah. Yeah, I think a Boat ban could be in the cards. But I was saying, like, if they were to rework it, I would I would like them to ban Boat and then maybe they re-release it in the next set. Would be the cleanest way of doing it. Credit cutting Liberated account seems better. Mackler over Marjana, yeah. I don't know why my chat. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Mackler over Marjana's not. Marjana requires you to make a successful run on a central, and sometimes that matters. I mean, we did install the boat. We should run the remote. Yes, I love that. We definitely should. Endless Eula Palisade. For barriers that get played, yeah. In which like Mackler's fine against. Endless Eula is just a pain, whatever you're playing, unless you're playing Cleaver or Sherman. Data Ward probably the worst barrier to face with this list. Oh yeah, Data Ward for sure. Oh, the last card was Bologna on HQ. The pinhole threw you off. Yeah, I loved that. Play the pinhole. Now you need to pop your NGO. You need to pop your Spin Doctor, and then the other thing is you have to pick what card to advance, and then I get to pick what card I'm accessing. I loved that. That was so good. Yeah, Data Ward's definitely a pain. And I don't have inside jobs. Like maybe we need inside jobs if we want to deal with Data Ward. Or we could just run the servers that don't have Data Ward on them. Or you just build boat counters. Like you gotta work your way around it somehow. There's not much you can do. 11:40 in the UK time for bed. Look forward to watching the replay tomorrow evening. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It also costs 0, no investment, and often you want to make chippy boat runs or turtle power runs in situations. So yeah. So Marjana costing 0 is great, but the issue is that you have to pay 2 for a sub, and the play pattern around boat and turtle is the same, which is ice all your servers. And if all the servers get iced to block out endurance and block out turtle, then you're sitting there with Marjana, and it's not great. I mean, to be fair, Mackler and Marjana are just both not ideal. It's tough. It's tough. Curious if you access the NGO if I don't pop it. No, I would not have accessed the NGO. I would have definitely left that there. I was going to access one of the 2 cards that you installed that turn. It's one bad run, then it's a cheap run. I mean, the other argument that could support Marjana here is that Marjana costs Marjana costs $1 to boost strength. So you can pump your Marjana with Shesvi and only spend $1 off the Shesvi. It's just a big drawback. I want a Marjana in this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. It costs 4. Yeah, so it costs the same amount to break IP block. It costs the same amount. So like all the break ratios are effectively worse, except Mackler costs 5 to install. I haven't had an issue with Mackler. And sometimes you need to like install a breaker and then run somewhere, and you don't have time to go make that central run. So I'm gonna keep it as is, but I do want to put a bones in because Zeechling pointed out the twinning synergy, which I had missed. But now I'm over deck size, I don't know what to do. But there should definitely be a bones in here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So with 9 resources, I think you keep 3 career fairs, although maybe you could argue cutting one of those. Dirty Laundries did not shine in the match, but that's just because we were against Prav. That's got a career fair. So let's refresh this. Let's bring that back up. the game first. Casual, runner, create. And then we need to go and edit this deck. Cutting a career fair for a bones. There's more than one card with bones in it. What other card has bones in it? Cabinessa Wu. That's the other card with bones in it. Oh, that's funny. How busted is 419 with boat? It's not that busted. But it seems good so far. Yeah, if we're looking for good factors, we need to get out of Crim, but we were playing boat instead, exactly. Bones makes my Prav deck sad. Is Blueberry Diesel actually good? Hey, Heinzel, you were at German Nationals. Hope you had a good time. Had a lot of chatter about German Nationals over the last weekend. Is Blueberry Diesel actually good? I like it. That you need the filter in this because you've got you need to find your endurance and your things that help you install endurance. So you've got your one credit kiting. You also playing Crim just have a bunch of tech cards. So I've been liking it. Also, it kind of just thins your deck, right? You're actually playing 42 cards and then 3 Blueberry Diesels. Like it's not a diesel, but it's fine. Okay, this is a bad hand. Also, after making room for Ichi-chan, that Prav deck has been super underwhelming. I've been pronouncing the name wrong the whole time. Ka Bones, yeah. Isn't that what Class Act is for? Yeah, I mean, it stacks. But it's true. It's true. That is what Class Act is for. I've been liking it, though. Hedge Fund, install 2 cards, Ice HQ. Fine. So this is just gamble. We can laundry R&D, I guess. Do we install Shesvi for... we totally do. So this is gamble. No, we don't install Shesvi. Wait a second. I shouldn't even play gamble. I should run this click 1. We're against HB. We should be running this click 1. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're rezzing Maryland campaign. I guess. Ansel, good to know. Bones is very good. We probably don't need both falsifieds. Yeah, I've been liking the Blueberry Diesel. It's you get double filter. You look the top 2 cards, bottom 1 if you want, and then you draw 3 because of Class Act and you bottom 1. So it's fine. Install Ansel, install card and remote, advance. So this is an NGO front. If I've seen one. Mackler can go to the bottom. And then twinning is good. I probably want to keep the twinning. Yeah, we'll keep the twinning. So go gamble. Gamble, Earthrise is fine. Have we tested how runners fare against Tagstorm without all the drip? No, but probably not good. We found a diversion. We probably don't need a diversion here. How wrong is that? We don't have a way of getting into HQ. Aside from just running. Maybe we do just run it, though. Huh. We want to keep the credit kiting. Yeah, okay. So HQ. This probably prompts a res, because we've been drawing a bunch. No? Fully op? What is the single advanced card? We're not resing because I ran click 1, maybe. So I can get my credit kiting boat down at some point. If I draw a card here and install... I don't want to install Shesvi because then it gets Hagened. So... that's... okay. That also gets Hagened. Okay, fine. We'll install that. Fine. Now, I guess we'll install Shesvi now. Because if we res Hagen, we're trashing Turtle. I don't know how I feel about that, but at least this means that they have to start paying for 419. This looks like an NGO. That's a career fair that we really want. Class Act we don't need. We can go career fair twinning. The downside about Turtle is I can't use Shesvi credits. Jeez. Okay, so it's I think it's run HQ click 1. We didn't res still. I still want to prompt this res. Unless it's Hagen now, in which case, well done. Skunk works. Fine. I might just sit. Install... okay, let's do this. Let's do this, let's do this, and let's run this. Okay. Hedge fund, fine. Not using Shesvi to trash? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. No, you're right, I should have. You're right, I totally should have. That's wrong. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. That's why we play these games, right? Install server 3. Ice it. Fully up for money and cards at the end, and then hedge fund. So I think we still just run HQ click 1. Amina we will keep in hand. How bad is run HQ click 1? I kind of want to get this diversion off. Also, we didn't draw our boat, which is really sad. Let's run HQ click 1. Still no res. Alright, let's trash. What a great access. That was an excellent access. Okay, we'll just sit. There's the NGO. It could be Drafter that we didn't want to res. I think Drafter gets res, though. Credit kiting Amina is pretty good. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. This is just because I was playing today. I'm not... there's no stream time. Install a card in server 1. Install another card, double advance. So... we're going to falsify name agenda. And then we deuces to expose the ice. I guess we deuces first. that wrong? I kind of want to know what the HQ ice is. Eh. So we want to gain money first, and then if I see what the ice is, how helpful is that? Probably not that helpful, actually. We just go look at HQ. Loki. Nice. Okay. So I can just diversion through that. If you don't res here, then I get a third turtle counter. If we do res here, I can bounce. Go get a third turtle counter. Shuffle your giver to the stack? No. Okay, so let's go get a third turtle counter. Or I could falsified. Is falsified important later? Kind of is. Nah. Name agenda. Because we know... Oh, okay. That's fine. Should I have... Oh, I should have called the upgrade, hey? Probably. I don't know. There's ways that the game can go if I don't know that's an NGO front. But also, every time you falsified for like the non-safe option, you should try to act on it. So that was wrong. I should falsify naming upgrade. Okay, it's a good note. Top NGO, install advance hedge fund. Okay, so now I can just keep running HQ. Another Shesby. I bottom Bagalter. The deck's money is not great. We're gonna bottom Bagalter. Bravado's good. Let's do that. Let's install this and then Bravado HQ. Just in case HQ is a trashable. I'm ready to die to Snare. I will not access any additional cards. Big deal. 1, 2, 3. Gone. Now we're gonna score? Oh, okay. We did know about the skunk works. Yeah, exactly. I wonder if it's worth rezzing Trace to try to stuff diversion there. What the heck is happening? Draw a card. Install 2 naked cards? But also advance the card in server 3? Huh? Bravado's actually not good. Okay, we'll keep the Bravado. I need to get turtle counters. And also one of these might be Mavericks. But we do run these. Trace model Bioroids. Yeah. Okay. And then I get a turtle counter. Maybe I should just be drawing. But turtle is a threat. Okay. So I go run archives 3 times and then run HQ. Seems fine. Maybe I can draw once to get class act trigger. No, I like this. Run archives 3 times, run HQ is fine. Just we see the new card. Jesvi, so good. I'd draw for boat here. Yeah, it's tough. Maybe FC3 on server 3. I don't want to let him res ice until I have to, right? Second advancement, draw, install. So that's a really weird agenda for pushing an agenda. Doing weird things is good against good players. But I'm not going to respect it. Advance, draw a card, and install. So if we have an agenda, we would put it in the remote, right? FC3, Ansel, and Hagen is 4. Okay, so let's run HQ. Let's Bravado HQ to start things off. I guess I can Bravado the remote. Okay, so let's... yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we'll run. We'll run. Let's start with this. Hedge fund. Okay. So now I get to choose if I want to run the remote or not after another run. So I can run archives, get a turtle counter, and then I can run the remote. I think we do run the remote. Yeah. Might be playing this too aggressively. Not sure. No res is good. We can clear the skunk works out. A Carl? To de-res nothing. Res skunks. So we go break. Oh, I was supposed to bravado. Dang it. Yeah, I was supposed to bravado. That was a mistake. It's fine. It's fine. I'll take that. Resing Ansel on the remote, or on R&D. That's good to know. Yeah, I was supposed to bravado. That's so bad. And then we'll draw last click for our class act trigger, and we'll definitely take the diversion. Yeah, Gatekeeper is fine. It's not ideal. Hedge fund, second ice R&D, take a credit. Okay, so this is the turn where we can draw. Actually, I really should access 3 out of R&D. So it's like diversion, bravado, R&D. Does that make sense? Let's draw first. We'll take the deuces. Okay, so let's diversion. This is only bad if they have Ikawa Project, but we have send a message, so... Oh, actually, they might have Ikawa Project. Wait, is Ikawa Project even legal? Also, I don't need to run R&D this turn. We're actually not going to run R&D this turn. Should I? No, we should. We should. Let's do it. Ikawa is legal, yeah, okay. You just drill R&D to find the rest of the Trieste and unlock remotes. Yeah. That is a Fairchild, which we will break. Yeah, we can maintain an R&D lock here. Let's see, 3. Ansel, fully up, ganked. Good thing I have money. Ansel and fully up coming up. So Ansel's not going to do anything. Fully up only does something if there's stuff in the remotes. What are we encountering? Ansel. So we'll go break the trash, break the install, and then cannot stealer is fine. Okay. Where's our boat? Probably need this mutual favor too. Uh, do I? Do I though? Do I? What if it's run archives? It totally is. It should have been run archives, credit kiting Amina, run R&D, break the Fairchild. So rude. I guess I'm doing it. We're doing it for the stream. We're doing it for the stream. Run archives, kiting the Amina, and then we're gonna deuces to expose. It's good to know what this is. Yeah, so it's okay. So that's a border control. That's why we didn't run last click. And then we run R&D, and then we make him lose his last credit, and then we jack out, and we clear the tag. Rude but fair, yeah. Okay, so we drew the fully up. So our hand is Ansel fully up. And now I'm going to access 3 out of R&D again. So the corp should draw here. So that we get cards through. And it opens the opportunity for me to misplay. Like if we just take credits here, then C3 out of R&D, and I have total perfect information. 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to run twice. Run R&D. I guess we'll do that. Because of the possibility of Ikawa Project. Which I should have played around, because we see send a message. So the chances that Ikawa Project is in this list is not 0. Let's break this. Let's continue. Let's see. 3 cards. Vitruvius is good. Drafter, Hakarl. And we'll draw last click. Endurance, Bravado. Let's take both of those. And bottom a cast. Yeah. So Drafter in hand, Hakarl in hand, and now we see the next 3 cards. So this is click for 2 Bravado, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I go to 0 credits, and that's not good thinking. So I actually need to Bravado a random server. Right? Yeah, exactly. Beware of ganked. Exactly. So I guess I should draw first, in case I get, like, a laundry. Pinhole's fine, I guess. And then we'll Bravado here. A Drafter res gets you 1 sub. It's not bad. And then we'll run R&D. Let's break for 4. free. Let's see free. Ikawa Project. There it is. Oh, Vitruvius too. GG. Yeah, Ikawa Project. So this agenda suite is 3 Vitruvius, 1 Luminal, and then 4 of Ikawa / send a message. Okay, catching up on a bit of chat. Take 3 Bravado. Ikawa and Sam. Bravado R&D, Jack out, Boat Run Archives. Yeah, to set up Boat. Hey, I really wanted to access 3 though. Because, like, what in this situation, if we did steal Ikawa, we'd be at 5 credits. And I think if he just keeps drawing and we just keep spending our money to see the next 3 cards, I think we win that game and we don't need to install Boat. But if there's a turn where we don't know the next, where we do know the next card of R&D, then we can like click up for a bit of money and then install Boat. There's still some money left in the deck. Not a lot. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And that's why the 419s felt very, very different to play than the past 419s, because you don't have Rozeki. So you don't have anything that's actually giving you money, and you need to click for credits if you run out of cards that give you money, because everything that gives you money is event econ, and then you have like Boat is money and Chesvi is money, but none of them is actually cash. I feel like once you have Boat out, you just win this game. How are they scoring from remotes? Well, install Boat Run remote. I hear ya. Yeah, it's true. So, Bravado, because I was at 8. How much money did I have? I started the turn at $4. So Bravado gains me 4. And I pass the Fairchild. So I go to $8. We install the Boat. We run archives. Get a counter. We're at 4 Boat counters. We just sit on Boat counters and click for credits. I hear you. That's probably the right play. That's probably the right play. Simple 2-step planning. Exactly. Just find a really soft server you can Chesby, Bagalter, Mackler for money. Yeah. Okay, onwards. Also, at any point, if people want to see some APOC Lat or some asset spam kill ob, I can play some of that. We're against an Acme. This hand is only okay. I think I mulligan this hand. But then you could mulligan into an actually bad hand. Whereas this hand you can just get gamble, get laundry out of your hand. Maybe diversion gets played. You can pinhole daily quests. Okay, I guess we keep this because we can pinhole daily quests. I'm just happy to have a streaming Netrunner. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I think I get the gist of it. Yeah, I was testing yesterday. I don't remember what I was playing. Probably playing this, or playing Reg 419 without the Boat. And I ran into somebody and they were like, "Hey, are you streaming?" And I said, "I'm not." And then in my mind, I was like, "Huh, well, I guess I could be." So here we are. And it looks like we're against an Acme who didn't draw any ice, because click 1 draw into click 2 install a card in the remote is looking promising for us. And then advance the NGO front. That's so good. That's so good. That's amazing. Okay, so then we like run the NGO front. We're gonna save the falsified. But they should res this. In case our hand is clunky and then we want to play the falsified. But our hand is not, so... But they should res the NGO. And then we want to laundry... No, we want to diversion first. And then we want to laundry HQ. And then we want to steal a send a message. A seamless launch. Okay, so we're playing 4-2s and we're rushing with Arella. Someone's streaming Netrunner. Yeah, man. I'm glad you're enjoying. I love doing this. Weird, I only see 8, not 15 games on my JNet, and don't see this lobby at all. Wait, what? Refresh? I don't know. I didn't know that was an issue. Ice on HQ. IP block. Okay, we can walk past that, because we have 1 link and we're 419 and we have a lot of money. For now. Be very conscious of money. Let's draw, get a turtle down? With an IP block on HQ, we don't actually want a turtle down, unless we do. That's tough. Ooh, that's a card. That's a good card. Okay. Another IP block. We don't want a turtle down. Oh, we can't run past that. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm being silly. You can't run past that. There was something else. I was playing maybe 2 days ago, and it was late at night. It wasn't even that late. And I just made a play where that was just so bad, and it was just like, okay, I need to go to sleep now, because there's no way that I do that. I don't quite remember what it was, but it was something along the lines of that. Was basically there was some kind of rules thing that I had forgotten about, or that I didn't think about. Install an ICE and R&D, prevent the exposed ICE archives, take a credit. Okay, so one of those is probably IP block, because they didn't install ICE turn 1, which means they don't have a lot of choice. If they kept the IP block in hand and installed 2 other ICE, then their turn 1 doesn't make any sense. So, and we also want to run before we start hitting hydras. So it's like credit gamble. We could run R&D, although I kind of want to make them res archives. I think the IP block is on R&D. Let's run archives. If I had IP block F2P, I would put the F2P on archives and IP block on R&D. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so we can draw here. Earthrise is good. Was it running versus boop into DNA? No. It was something that has to do with rules. Like this, like Acme, like forgetting Acme as an ability. I was playing way too late a couple months ago, and I installed a second Unity and didn't realize until like 3 turns later. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, take 3. We could force the IP block reses if we really want to be rude. And we'd basically be trading 2 for 2 credits. We don't need to do that, but it does stop them from playing hedge fund. Let's draw for career fair. Career fair? No career fair. Fine. We could have drawn again and discarded boat. But there's reasons to keep it in hand, especially against Acme, where we might get like locked out, and we spend all our boat counters, we might want to install another one. Just so we get one that starts with counters. Do you think your APOC Lack got weaker after new ban? The deck itself didn't get weaker. Whether or not it got weaker because of Corpse is not something I've really thought about because haven't seen that much yet. So no. I think though, like the deck itself, I don't think got any weaker. You lost pad tap, but then you put in a third APOC. And a lot of the times when I was playing it, you really want your APOC. And it's a really good card. Chesvi, that's so good. So we can just start poking. What the heck? Okay. Okay, so it's like install, and then we run. I could get newsed. But we're playing Acme, we don't have news, right? So we run HQ. And then I P-block gets res, and then we say fire. And then they're going to run a trace 3. And then I pay 2. And what I'm essentially doing is, like, I'm just making them spend their money resing their ice. Which I think is fine. You could argue it's a waste of a click. Or 2 clicks. Well, I need to get the Chesvi down eventually anyways. Also, we're drawing a bit dead here. At least the second unity makes the boost ability stronger. Ooh. The Rush Acme with Arella does have news. Yeah. Mausless had 3 HHN, but only 1 Psycho is punished and 3 Planos. Yeah, and we've seen Plano already, so. Found out during cons with only 2 counters on Yusuf. If we get news here, that's fine. But also, if we start our turn and draw 2 other dead cards, that's so bad for us. Like, if we start our turn and draw Turtle and Mutual Favor, I don't know what we do. This is why, by the way, that I usually don't put 3 copies of Falsified in my decks. Because Falsified, despite it being very good, is a situational card. And then Pinhole's a situational card, and like Inside Job's a situational card. Boomerang is as well. So if you like fill your deck with 3 copies of all of those, you'll just start to draw them, and you'll get a board state like this where there's no remote and there's no cards installed, and you can't play any of those cards. That is a good draw. So we'll just poke R&D for fun. Is that a bad idea? I could install Mackler. It cost me 1. But I have to pay 5 to install the Mackler. Okay, we're gonna deuces. Draw 2. Gain 3. We'll gamble. I could go Mackler, Bravado, R&D. Do I do that? 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. And then I gain, so I'll be on 2 credits. Ugh, that seems so bad. I get a boat counter, though. Gets our Mackler on the board. Alright. You could argue I go HQ here as well. Okay, so let's break. Let's steal send a message. Oh wait, do we even have send a message in this deck? We have Funhouse, good to know. I'm not familiar with what this list is. It needs at least 1 HHN, I think, for the threat. I do think 2x Market and 2x HHN was a real good adaptation of the list. Unlikely they're on that here, though. Mackler lets you poke centrals once a turn for plus 0.5 credits here. How is that plus 0.5 credits? It cost me 4 to break the IP block. I get 2 credits off the Chesvi. I get 1 credit off the Mackler, so it cost me 1. Oh, because you're saying a boat count is worth 1.5? Yeah. It doesn't when a hard-hitting news is the threat. But yeah, I see that. Also, I kind of needed to get a card out of hand. It sucks. That's a Rashida. And we should run that? Should we? I don't know. We can get Hydra rezzed on us. Am I okay with that? I could falsify the name asset just to get this out of our hand. Let's do that. It's a Regolith. That is not a Rashida. Do I pinhole that? Jeez. Just get an HQ access. Call it a day. Yeah. Get an HQ access. Get our Earthrise down. This is fine. We access the same funhouse we accessed last turn. Deck is probably Off-World 3x, Bologna 3x, 1 15 minutes, 1 Beal, 1 Tomorrows. Oh, this isn't Mao's list card for card then. Oh, because of the Regolith? Yeah. But I think the deck... Were you guys playing daily quests? Because I thought the deck was playing daily quests, and my complaint about it was that you can't be rushing and sitting on daily quest. So Regolith makes more sense. Unless you're not on daily quest. Then I think that's totally fine. But I don't think daily quest goes in a deck like that. Another ice on HQ. Okay, I think I run the remote just to trash this Regolith now. So let's do that. We're gonna pop the NGO, res a Data Ward. Res a Hydra. Okay. So I could spend 2 boat counters and then end the run. Or I could spend 2 boat counters and give you 5. Or I could spend 4 boat counters. I think we do just spend 4 boat counters. Someone tell me that's wrong. And then there's no threat given the amount of money. But also I don't need to run a central this turn. So this turn is Blueberry Diesel. Class Act, Deuce is Wild. We don't need the Deuces. I would like the Class Act, though, I think. So let's draw those. We get Credit Kiting is fine. Two boat ETR, real nice. I'm not sure what that refers to. I do have Begalter, so I can break that Hydra, but that's cost me... What is that again? 5? Cost me 6. Cost me 6. And that's a lot of money. We don't have a lot of money. Also, the Class Act is only good later. We still have 2 more ticks on this Earthrise. But we do want to get this Class Act. So, yeah, it's fine. Deuces is a bit better right now. Although maybe I might aggressively install the Class Act here. That might be a little too aggressive. Spending 2 bow counters and letting Hydra ETR would have been pretty good. There's 9 credits on that Regolith, though. Spin Doctor, install, take a credit. Okay. Boomerang's really good. Laundry's also quite good. I could laundry HQ here safely. I think I'd do that. And we'll leave the card in the remote. It's not great, but yeah, it's fine. Could be Funhouse. Data Ward. Okay. I might hard install this class act. Because next turn we can pitch this mutual favor. I start the turn next turn with 11 cards in hand. 4, 5, 6, 7. Install class act, install Begalter. But then I get a filtered draw next turn. I think that's fine. Let's do that. Okay. I could just trace through IP block. It's $1 either way. Oh. Yo, it's not. This cost me $1. You're right. I am bad. Scorbeel's really bad for the corp here. I guess we bottom the turtle and then discard the class act because the turtle might be useful later, whereas class act definitely won't be. We're just keeping the card that we're gonna throw out, and then we install second Chesby, and then we like laundry R&D. I guess we bravado. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Okay, so it's this, take a credit, laundry, R&D. Access 2. No, because we can't steal Bologna. Planogram. Okay, so when we get rid of class act, we get rid of mutual favor. Install twin first or not bother. Bravado HQ seems... Yeah, we'll Bravado HQ this turn here. I wanted to play the laundry because we didn't have the money to play the Bravado, and I wanted to install twinning and Chesby. So we'll play the Bravado this turn. And then we'll probably see 3 out of HQ. I'm not sure, though. We've seen Funhouse. I wonder if we play the planogram for money here. That's probably what we're thinking about. I don't see why we wouldn't. The diversion would be great. Also, if Funhouse on HQ gets res, that could be annoying. So if we Bravado HQ, we might bounce. Off a Funhouse, that is. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So... that tells me the agendas are in R&D. Because what? There's Plano in hand, there's Seamless in hand, and like that's already 2 cards that I don't want to access. So I'm probably going to see 3 out of R&D. And then we'll just poke HQ for singles. And we can credit kite the Amina down this turn. Okay, so let's Bravado R&D. Okay. Encounter. Break. This gains me 1, so I should do it. And then we'll see 3. Okay. I will trash that. Yeah, I'll trash that. And then we can't steal Bologna. Yeah. I was like, That's what's gonna happen. That's fine. Okay, so let me go clear tag, run back. And this time this can fire. And we have this game under control now. Not that we didn't before, but now we have points. Credit. Didn't need second Chesv for Bravado HQ. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Plano game 3, credit. Fine. We'll still poke click 1. Let's draw first. Falsified is useful. Let's keep that. Resing Data Ward. And then I pay 3 bounce run HQ. If we don't res, I come in, see the top card, credit kite the Amina, clear tag. Okay, we'll pay 3 bounce. Oh, I can pay Chesv dollars. Oh my goodness. This is OP. What? What? Why is this OP? Okay, we're gonna run HQ for a boat counter. I will access 1. It's fine. Yeah, we can pay. Chesv's so good. Maybe I should have 3 copies of this card in my deck. I don't know. Two's been serving me well. I don't need 3. Click for 3. Okay, so we go run HQ. We should draw for a run event. Oh. This is a funhouse on HQ, right? And they have 4 credits, so I should diversion right now. I think that makes sense. Oh, I'm breaking. Version, and we'll just take 1. A 3rd copy. Yeah, I get them online faster, but actually, like, if you actually look at my games, did I need to get my Chesv online earlier this game? The answer is no. Like, the first one I got when I wanted it. Because you can get this too early. Like, this is not Rizeki, right? You can get your Chesv too early because you don't have anything that you're gonna spend money on, except for trashing things, which you're not gonna go for. Oh, that's a good hit. And then I'm gonna draw last click because I'm a bad Netrunner player. Makes sense. I thought you were bottoming them away with TCA Blueberry. You could, yeah. Click for 3. Okay. Okay, we draw first. Daily cast is good. Let's run HQ. Let's get our boat counter. Every time we run HQ, we get $1 from Mackler, a twinning counter, and a boat counter, and an HQ access when we break this IP block. And if they res, then I have full information for diversion. But also, I called that this is Funhouse, and I'm pretty certain this is Funhouse. Because we diversioned, and they didn't res. If they res here, we'll bounce, and then we'll run archives. For what it's worth, this position is concedable. And the thing is, like, I'm just gonna play pretty slowly here because this game is now a little grindy. It is like me grinding out the corp because I'm just gonna get a little bit of value here, a little bit of value there, and really do nothing. Hard lock engaged, yeah. Okay, so I could run that, or I could falsified it, or I could boomerang and boat it. That's actually better. Let's draw first. Fine. Okay, so then we run here. We get our boomerang back in the deck. Trash Rashida, fine. Shuffle boomerang. We get a twinning counter because we used a credit off Miss Bones. So sick. Encouraging those fast dynamic games with value lock cards like Cheswick. Pinhole at Vey Archives. I need the pinhole for Void. And we need the falsified for when more ice gets on the remote. That's why we're using the boomerang here. Oh wait, did we know that that was Rashida? And I'm just bad at paying attention? Oh no, we didn't. We didn't. Okay, good. But this time it's Rashida. And I want to say, do I care? Boomerang, run. I don't think I care. Oh wait. We should run archives. You can have Rashida. Yeah, you can have Rashida. Okay. Data ward. So now our falsified is better than it was before. But also if they dip low on credits, we can potentially diversion and then diversion them to below 6 credits, and then we can get past the data ward without letting them res it. It's a possibility. I still have 6 tokens on my twinning. That's a lot of tokens. So thought, what about replacing the career fairs with no free lunch? Use the ability to get the install click free, but it also becomes a lot more flexible overall. Yeah. No free lunch is a decent card when we're playing Crim. I'll think about that. Hedge fund install data ward card in the remote. Fine. Let's go 5, 6, and then we make them res and they go to 0. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we'll falsify this. We name asset. Okay. And the reason we name asset is because if it's an agenda, we win the game. So we don't need the money if it's an agenda. Okay, this is fine. Bravado's a great card. Let's run archives, and we will take $1. And we'll continue doing nothing. And then if they like take a bunch of money off this regolith, then I probably run HQ in C3. If they leave the regolith on 9, then we're not going to do that right away. Okay. So now I probably run HQ in C3. So let's... I guess we just do that. Boomerang's good. Yeah, we'll just do that. So take tag. I can pay 4, or I can spend 2 boat counters. They do lose a credit though. I'll just spend the boat counters. Boat counters, theoretically I should just save for Data Ward. Because right now Data Ward costs me like 10 credits. So a boat counter is better than that. Better than what I just spent it for. Okay, let's see, 3. GG. Six counters left on the twinning still. So if we ever are in a need to YOLO, we have an ability to YOLO. We should be running R&D at some point, yeah? Data Ward sucks, but it's not gonna stop the boat for a couple turns. Well, see, the thing is, we don't run R&D because we don't need to run R&D. We can just run the remote. So until we have spent too much resources and we're at the point where they've shown that they have too much stuff that they can throw in the remote, and we're checking all that stuff all the time, then we can start running centrals. So what I'm saying is, if they put something in the remote, we go run it, it's not an agenda. And then when they put another thing in the remote and we go run it and it's not an agenda yet again, they probably need to do that twice. And if they can do that twice, where I make the wrong call, then we'll need to, like, we probably can't sustain checking the remote over and over again. And then we can start trying to get the win out of centrals. But until that they show that they have the ability to do that, we can sit on the remote. Because the longer we sit on the remote, the more cards they draw out of R&D. So when we eventually run centrals, we can see the next 3 cards of R&D, and then we can see like 3 cards twice out of HQ. And the chances that we hit an agenda are much higher the more we wait. This is the part where I'm too aggressive for my own good. So, especially when you're up against Glacier, like playing aggressively, when you're in a good position, and you're the runner and you're playing against Glacier, the way that your good position turns into a loss is you're spending too much resources trying to close the game, and maybe your chances of winning are actually quite high, but there's also the chance that you access those cards out of centrals and you whiff. And in the chances where, like, even if the chances are low, if you do whiff, it gives the Corp an ability to come back into the game. And the other route you can take is you don't go for those random accesses. Again, even if they might be high, you don't go for those central accesses. You sit on however good your board state is and how good of a start you had, and you improve it until you've seen some kind of threat that tells you can't sustain the remote anymore. So in this case, it was, is there enough stuff in the remote for you to put in there and I make a bad run? And can that happen enough times? Or another way that can happen is if maybe they avoid which they do, but maybe they put void in the remote and I don't have pinhole threading. So if you don't have a way of like dealing with the void, then that might be another reason that you'll need to start running centrals. But until then, if you wait, you can your accesses get better the longer you wait, because a glacier will only install their ice and use their cards that give them money, and the agendas will start to get into hand, and then your accesses will only get better. That's not necessarily always true. Like, I guess if you're playing Black Orchestra and MK Ultra, then and it costs you $1 million to break pieces of ice, then the longer you wait, the more ice they put up. So then the less runs you can make. So that's like another consideration. So if in the early in the game, a run on R&D or HQ costs 5 credits, maybe it's better to go for that random access early if you understand that your breakers are bad against this ice suite. So if you wait in that situation, the server is going to get more expensive, and then if you like later in the game, it might cost you like 15 credits to make that run. In which case you'll be better off having made the run early. But in my case, like I'm just building boat counters, and my breakers are fine. Like Amina Bagalter is a great breaker, and Mackler is bad against Data Ward, which is why we need to kind of allocate our boat tokens for Data Ward. Yeah, but I'm not playing Anarch breakers. Just deny them a scoring window as long as possible and then go aggressive. Yeah, exactly. What about replacing the career fairs with no free lunch? To get the install click free, but it also becomes a lot more flexible overall. So let's talk about that. No free lunch. So it's a click for 3. It's a card I can throw onto the board. It's good against it's good against Acme. Not really. It's good against IP block when you have turtle down, because you can take the tag off the IP block and then you can clear the tag and then you could run the IP block trace if you're not against Acme, that is. It's important against R+. It's important against any deck with Drago. And I guess if people are playing, like if they play Heinzel also, is Heinzel even still here? Heinzel's probably not here because it's like very late over there. But it's also good against Mad Boom. And I guess if the popularity of Shapers is going down, maybe people will play Mad Boom. So against Mad Boom combo, you want this. That makes a lot of sense. In looking at this comparison, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, maybe we do play 2 no free lunch instead of career fairs. Career fairs are good. Is there any breaker that actually good into Data Ward? Everything seems to be expensive. Propeller. Except you can only break Data Ward once. But Propeller. Because it costs you 1 to install, you spend your 4 counters to get to 8 strength, and you spend $4 to break it. That's like the best you can get. But it only breaks it once, so I don't know, that doesn't really count. But yeah, install Propeller and then you can APOC it, and then it's gone. You only need to break it once. It prevents Acme from stacking behind Funhouse. Yeah, exactly. It just feels like it does the same thing as Career Fair, but you can use the 3 whenever, even if you draw it late. Then it also has a side benefit of avoiding random tags. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good argument. So, yeah, I think I'm going to make that change and see how it feels. Career Fairs are good when you've gotten a bunch of burst draw since it empties your hand fast. That is true. But I would say it balances out, because Career Fair is good to empty cards out of your hand fast when you get burst draw, but no free lunch can get cards out of your hand when you don't have targets, whereas Career Fair, you can't even get out of your hand if you don't have targets. And then the question becomes, how many times do you not have targets? And so far, it hasn't really happened. Although I did bottom a career fair in this last game, but that's you know that's the whole point of Class Act, right? It's not a bad thing about career fair. I don't remember what the other card was, but I'm sure I would have bottomed no free lunch all the same. Career saves you the click to install though, so it's 4 exactly. Yeah, it's 4 units of value. The click saving is there, but at the cost of potentially being a dead draw. I think I like the utility of no free lunch. I think Zeech League has a very, very good argument for it. Notably, though, your best career fair targets are Class Stacked Earthrise. Isn't the difference with career fair that it only costs 1 click? Versus no free lunch needs 2 clicks? Yeah, like there's a click difference. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not just gain 3. Like it's not just 3 credits of value. I think they're both good. I like it though. Let's do that. We're gonna put the no free lunch in. There's utility here against tags. And this deck doesn't have a great R plus matchup. So improving that is a good thing. Jump in another one. Runner, casual, create. Let's go here. Let's cut the career fairs for 2 no free lunch. I might, after one more, I'll see how I feel, but after one more, I might play some ob, just to get some corpse in, and remind myself just a decent corp deck and what that's like. Okay, so AgInfusion's not a good matchup. We have Credit Kiting Boat in our opening hand. I don't care what the other cards are. We're keeping that. So the question to ask, especially against AgInfusion, it's really important. The question to ask is the utility more beneficial over the cost of an extra click to get that utility? Yeah, exactly. And I think the answer is yes. Yeah, my initial reaction is yes. I like the utility of that. Okay, hedge fund, Ice HQ, Ice R&D, prevent the expose. So this is run archives. No, because how many clicks do we need? Click 1, click 2, click 3. We need 3 clicks. Also, we don't even need to clear the tag because we're against AgInfusion. So it's draw. How greedy are we? Pretty greedy. Yeah, pretty greedy. Let's bottom the Mackler, and we didn't draw Dirty Laundry. That's so sad. So sad. There's no tag punishment in AgInfusion. So I really wanted to draw a Laundry. And then we can also clear the tag with deuces. So that's why this seems okay. Now he needs to ice archives, which he was going to do anyways. Oh, but he didn't find ice. That's really good. Chesvy or daily casts? We don't need the Chesvy right now. I might need it later. We'll bottom it. Earthrise. Man. Where's our deuces? Where is it? Okay, let's get a counter. Let's put down the cast. Let's clear tag. That's so sad. 2 copies of deuces. Dirty Laundry. Those are all good cards there. Didn't find it. He's still drawing. No ice. This means there's no ice in hand. So it's so good for us. Okay, so we've got 4 non-ice cards in hand. We're gonna draw and get Dirty Laundry now. So I'm not gonna draw. Let's just click for 3 and put an Earthrise down. Why not boat first for the counter? You need to run a central to play credit kiting, I think is what you've missed there. Ben K says, howdy. Hi, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Poach HQ, look for diversion opening. Also planogram for the tag punishment. Nah, people don't play planogram in AgInfusion. People play stuff like Mwanza City Grid. Oh, I guess there is planogram. We just played. Okay, yeah, you're right. Alex has planogram. Which is weird. Why do you have planogram? Surely there's better stuff to spend for influence. There's the laundry. Poke HQ seems so bad. We don't have money. How do we not have money? We just diversion now. Right? Just diversion. Just do it. You're gonna pop your ice away, and then I'm gonna like laundry HQ, and then we're gonna die to snares because this is Mwanza. It's Jinja Egg. So you've spent influence on Jinja, and you've spent influence on Plano, so that's 9 influence. And then you have 3 spin doctors, so that's 12 influence, and you don't have 2 border controls in your deck. You see? I don't know. I gotta talk to Alex as to why we have planograms here. If there's one thing I know about AgInfusion, no matter how much ice you pack, you will draw more agendas by turn 3. Yeah. That's 100% true. That is 100% true. That's why I'm not playing Egg. I considered Egg prior to APAC, and I didn't even test the deck that I was looking at because I was like, if I play AgInfusion Glacier, I'm going to get flooded. And I'm just not going to do that. We discarded Prysac. Oh, and DNA Tracker. Yeah. Are we laundering HQ? Are we crazy? Oh no, we're just diversioning. Yeah, okay. We're not crazy. Okay, that seems good. Tracker was the HQ ice. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Giles, you're right. Whatever you do, you're going to draw more agendas than ice by turn 3. It's true. Worlds 2020. Earthrise. Okay, we found our other Shesvi. That's 2 ice on HQ. What are we doing? We're like laundering archives? That seems bad. I can diversion again, and then we have to break the outer ice, and then we get booped. But it just gets rid of ice on HQ. I'm doing it. These diversions aren't going to do that much anyways. Let's just pressure hard early. No res is really good for us. Res into boop is what the corp wants to do. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. So I could laundry archives. That gives them a res. And then we can run HQ. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I am okay with that. Let's go laundry archives. So if they res here, and it's an Anansi, then they only have $1. So then I can run HQ. And then if they res their Mwanza, they can't fire snares. Yeah. It's a tough matchup. Like if you remember Worlds 2020, it was if you played AgInfusion Glacier, you ran into a bunch of Leelas, and it's a like Crim against against Jinteki Glacier is not a good matchup. It was a thimble rig that we got rid of. Fine. Okay. Imagine Leela with a boat. I mean, it doesn't necessarily synergize that well. Leela's just a good ID. Oh, hey, they fixed the bug? No, it was on R&D. Install a Spin Doctor, install HQ, take a credit. Class Act is a draw that is on cue. Let's go run archives. See if we res. I really hope we don't, because I really do just want to sit here, and they're gonna spend a bunch doing whatever they're doing on centrals. Okay. Wait, what? Are you shuffling the face down ice back? We're shuffling back preemptive or predictive and an unseen card, and it was a data loop on archives. Okay, so that was never getting rezzed anyways. And then we go install class act, take a credit. Would love Leela Haley Max as the system update 23 runners. Yeah, that'd be cool. Hedge fund, ice archives, credit. So they're expecting me to run archives here, which I might just do anyways. Hmm. Yeah, I might just do that anyways. Whatever, right? Right? This is gonna get rezzed. Yeah, okay. So we'll break it. And then we need to get our Begalter down, which I think we'll do right away. Just so we get the install. And then we'll get no free lunch. We could go filter draw, no free lunch, pitch endurance. Yeah. I guess we gamble now. I don't love the discard. Okay, so now we go. We want to. I want to run R&D here, just to keep the money pressure up. Because it could be twinning run R&D. Yeah, we want to keep this money pressure. Okay, let's do it. Okay. That seems not ideal, right? Because now I can run HQ. Also, I can C2. We will C2. Yeah, okay. Okay. Fine. We'll break it. I crazy? I am crazy. I can't run HQ now because I had to break this. I had to break this Anansi again. So if we run HQ, we get booped and we die. Otherwise, I would have loved to run HQ here. Okay. Amina's not necessary. Mackler's also not necessary. Yeah, it would have been awesome to clear out HQ. Another Spin Doctor. Those are ticking away. Discards 2. Okay, so we go... I could go draw again, run HQ. Because we can clear out the snares. I would like to do that. Gamble. We also give him a bunch of money. Which is just a bad play. Why am I considering doing that? Oh, I get a bow counter. I get twinning. Is it that bad? Might be. We don't need to deuces here. Bones. We have shown that bones can be useful. Okay. Earthrise. Oh god. Alright. Oh, I don't need to install the bones. Because now I can't play gamble. That was bad. That's fine. We're probably going to click for credits for the next 3 turns anyways. And we need to wait for him to overextend on the remote. And when that happens, we can start running. Turtle. Is Turtle good? Could see 2 out of R&D here. Is Turtle good? No. No, it's not good. So this is like daily casts. Is there a reason to get the Mackler down? Might be border control and data loops. Huh. Credit Bravado R&D seems fine. Yeah, let's do that. We see 2. One's a price. With all the tools at Crim's disposal to bypass, why is Endurance any good? Do you think you can get a similar result with Masterwork and Q-Loop? Um, I mean, the tools to bypass all run out though. Like, what are we talking about? We're talking about filling our deck with boomerangs and inside jobs. Because I have two boomerangs. Like, this is what I was saying earlier. Like, if you, there's the trap in Red Crim of putting too many situational cards in your deck. So, you, inside job's a great card. Boomerang's a great card. Falsified's a great card. Pinhole's a great card. Um, but you have if you put too many of these cards in your deck and they're not relevant in a board state, then they just sit in hand and you end up having to discard them. I think we will just boomerang, or not boomerang, we'll just bravado and C2 again. Oh, not right away though. Install credit. This sucks. Wait, Laundry Archives? Cost me 2? And we won't bravado, just in case we want to... Another ice goes in R&D, we'll bravado R&D? Yeah, okay. Let's Laundry Archives. Oh, the other Shesby would be great. Oh, yeah, I'll take a send a message. We have to keep the pinhole. What is Deuces doing for us? I guess I should have played the Deuces first. I needed to think this turn out better. Okay, that's fine. Let's play the Deuces. Dang it. Oh, that feels so bad. Why are we so bad at this game? Why are we bad at this game, chat? Somebody tell me. Please tell me why. Tell me why. Oh, man. Why are we so bad at this game? No. No. How did I let that happen? No. Endurance runs out also. Um not to the same way that the other cards do. You can still you can keep finding counters. And you can get value out of it. Whereas the other cards have a very defined it's very defined what those cards do for you. And also you have to play a lot of them. Okay, so that's an agenda, and we'll just take some money. Okay, so I win. I go bravado. Bravado costs me 3. So I go to $3. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait. Oh wait. Hang on. I actually die to Anemone. So I need to draw first. Guess we'll play this. Bottom, no free lunch. Sure. Bottom, Amina, because we want to keep it safe. We shouldn't be taking any net damage this turn. Unless we're winning the game. Okay. Oh, but also I can keep it. Second card targeted will be topmost. So it goes. Amina goes in there, and then Pinhole goes in there. Those are the two important cards in our hand. And then we'll pay 4, and we gain $1 back. And then if we get booped into a Nancy, we can break it with Begalter, because we have Chesney money. I shouldn't have installed the Bones. I got that turn where I just put it down, I was like, I just gotta get this card in my hand. But I guess so much time has passed since then, and it probably would have clogged my hand, and I would have probably installed it eventually. But maybe not. Even Data Ward here isn't enough. I think you can break everything this could possibly be, other than a non-CX3. Yeah. I didn't think about a Nancy. And we're just throwing games left and right. I'd die to a Nancy. That's really poor. I can pay 2 to draw. Oh yeah, that's true. I can pay 2 to draw, and then I break with boat. Ah yes. I thought about it the whole time. We didn't. We didn't. Not at all. Okay, GG. Yeah, I didn't think about a Nancy at all. The only reason I undid that was because of Anemone. But the math ended up working out because I needed to have 3 credits to break a Nancy with Chesney. Drew too many agendas during the attrition game on Centrals. Boomerang run. Yeah, if I was thinking about a Nancy, well, okay, if I was thinking about a Nancy, I would have made the same play because I would have figured out that I was actually fine. Hmm. Yeah, there's no reason to boomerang. I mean, you could say there was no reason to. There was no reason to bravado either. Because if I get booped into a Nancy, I go to 0 and I don't get the bravado money, but then I can just break the data loop with boat and I still win. And if it's border control, I also still win. So yeah, there was actually no reason to bravado. Aside from maybe there's a way where this doesn't work out for me and I at least get money from it. But I really should. A lot of people will, like, I think for the average player you can just bravado because there might be some reason you can't get in. But I would expect myself to be able to figure out if there's anything that can stop me from stealing that agenda. And if this is like the finals of a big tournament where there's no time limit, then I would have sat and thought about it. Because the inner ice, yeah, like if I thought about a Nancy, which I really should have, that's really sloppy, but it would have been fine. Border control would have been fine because I can run twice. DNA tracker's fine. Chiashi, I break and then I take 2 net damage, so that's fine. With boat. I think that's it. If you respected that as an oboe/trap and I get the res, snare in hand and otherwise clear, so HQ is pretty happy. Well, yeah, if that's not agenda, I bravado R&D. 2 upgrades. I'm not running HQ unless you have less than 4 credits. All right. Let's play. I want to play a spam game as Ob, and that's where we'll call it. What time did I start? I started at 3. So I live at Green College, which is at UBC for those who don't know, and we have like a meal. It's a meal plan that's only for weekdays, and it's breakfast and dinner. So it's like it's forced me to eat meals at set times now, which is really weird. But only on weekdays. Otherwise, I can do whatever I want and make or buy whatever I want when I want. So that's been nice. How did we do today? 1, 2, 3. We played 4 games. Okay, let's play a corp game. Let's say ban or no ban. And we'll see if people understand what that means. Oh, actually, you know what? No. We'll just say new bans. Because my deck is legal pre-bans, but it's more useful for me to play against somebody who's playing under the current ban list. Or the new ban list. Let's change the deck list. Yeah. I guess thoughts on the 419. Feels good. I really like the utility of no free lunch, although we didn't really see it in action that game, and I would have preferred it to be a career for that game. But based off my understanding of the usability of that of clearing a tag, I think that is worth it. Other thoughts that I have. The deck feels better than Penny Shaver, than Reg 419. To my surprise, honestly. But I guess Boat is just really good. The point is, though, that Boat is a source of... It's just a better source of money than Penny Shaver is, weirdly. Penny Shaver is really good in the asset matchup. But there isn't that much asset matchups. Like, if we're back with a bunch of CTMs and NEH, then you need the Penny Shaver, and that can be really good. And also Penny Shaver Turtle's really good. But I think the vast majority of people will be playing some way of countering Turtle, and you're going to see more Glaciers than you are going to see asset spams. Because when you're against asset spam, you want to have just Turtle and Penny Shaver. But if you're against Glacier, Penny Shaver is underwhelming, and Boat becomes very strong. So I think that's why that difference is there. Although the other deck plays Diesels, but I've actually not had an issue with the draw in this deck. The Blueberry Diesels I like. Just because it thins your deck. You just play 42 cards. Really, is all that is. It's a good balance of 3 Class Act, 2 Earthrise. I was thinking like maybe 3 Earthrise, 2 Class Act is better. But just getting the Class Act down early is really good. Yeah, Blueberry Diesel thins your deck. Maybe you could put an inside job in there if you're concerned about Acme. But I think as Mari, well, it depends on what you're doing. If you're playing full Glacier, I think Asmari's better. But if you're rushing a little bit, then, or if you're rushing even a little bit, then Acme is better. So yeah, if you're afraid of Acme and you're afraid of Data Wards, then maybe Inside Job's really good. And then you could play like one or two of those. DJ Fenris. Oh, what am I talking about? That's influence, and it's also bad. I've been liking the twinning. It's very important to install Shezvies, but I think 2 is a very good balance. How viable do you think the ob list is after the bans? I think it's perfectly viable. Nothing in the deck itself has changed, so we're just playing against runners that are worse, except for 419. So really, and I haven't done this testing yet, but if you test the ob and you can beat 419, then the ob is just really good because it was already really good, and now runners are worse, so then the ob is just even better. As long as we can beat 419. And can we beat 419? No idea. Do we need to ice? No, we don't. Let's... Okay. Maybe we do. That's funny. Oh. CTM could be a good meta call. I mean, if you're saying asset spam's a good meta call, but what is CTM doing? You don't know bankers. Like, you can play what the king played at German nationals, which is just you have like a bunch of traps and Drago, and I don't know if he has Check a Scion or not. And you have like 3 hard hitting, 3 market forces, and 3 self growth programs, and you're playing Bladderwarts. I don't think that's good though, because you're playing really low to the ground on credits, and then if Crim is coming back, you know. I rush an Atlas here? Yeah. And if Crim like 419 and you run up against Bones, and they also have Citadel, if people are playing Citadel, which I'm not, but some people probably will be, because that's a very common 419 include, then I don't see why CTM is good. Or at least I don't see why CTM would be better than this. Okay, so we're going to get our Penrose. And then I'm going to search for my... And then I'm going to pop it for my Sandstone. So if our opponent knows what's up, they need to search for their Penrose and then break the border control without spending the smoke credit. Otherwise, the other target is Afshar, which also just costs 2 credits. So we wouldn't... Like, we're either popping this for Sandstone, which we are, or we're not popping it at all. But they've used their smoke credit, which is wrong. Unless they have Cold Read. And if they do, we need to all give our opponent a round of applause. Is there a consideration for either Paragon or Anacam? Yeah, there totally is. There totally is. I think snare bears are very into Anacam. I mean, they've always been into Anacam Crim. Yeah, snare bears have always played their Crims with Anacams, which it makes sense. Like you basically you're not playing diesels and you're playing Anacams instead. which I personally don't agree with because I think the utility of Penny Shaver plus the card draw, like you're getting the card draw off Diesel or you're getting the card draw off Anacam. So Diesel, I guess like Anacam is a bit more elegant, but the utility of Penny Shaver is ginormous. Run archives 4 times, get 4 Penny Shaver count credits, get 4 turtle counters, stuff like that. Acid spam matchup, it's really important as I've mentioned. So yeah, like it's just good. Let's go ice. Let's do this. Oh, I guess I should have double Econ Warfare. Because now they can play Gamble. That was bad. They've already played 2 Gambles. Yeah, I should have double Econ Warfare. Okay. If you're playing against the OB, don't do what just happened there. Don't do that. Don't run and install daily cast and go down to 5 credits. That's really bad. Am I rude? And we get an urban renewal? Or we just play for tempo? Probably just play for tempo and we try to score. So let's get a launch campaign in a new remote. Let's go install this in a new remote. Let's play this. Let's get our Hardy News. Let's play our Hardy News. Catch up on a bit of chat. Bladderwort, yeah. Miss Bones makes that sort of deck very sad. Exactly. Exactly. And if people are going to play 419, and like we kind of went over this at the start of the stream, I started without Miss Bones, and I was saying at the start already, like you should have a copy of Miss Bones in every criminal deck, because Miss Bones usually just says click gain 10, because everybody has things that Miss Bones can trash usually. The second copy is then a tech card. So the first one is not a tech card. The first one is just a good card. The second copy is a tech card. But some people will play the second copy. I don't think it's necessary, just because there's no bankers group. Like there's no like asset spam deck unless you're talking about the OB. Like maybe we need Miss Bones against the OB, and this is what testing will get for you, right? Is you need to figure out. Oh, we just die to. Okay. We do just rush. Wait. Huh? 4 + 5. I guess if we have overclock, we can get in, but then we're broke. No, let's just jam. We win next turn if they can't get this. But if everyone will be tech against boat, having a non-boat deck might be good. But it seems boat is just better than anything else. That's true, but also what is tech for boat? Right? Because if we're going to play Wake Up Call could hit other stuff too. So that's... You can't really not play boat and get around Wake Up Call. If people are playing Glacier, then they're trying to lock you out of runs, then you can't play. Then I guess okay, we're not going to play boat. We're also not going to play turtle. We're not going to play anything that's run based. So we want to play a deck that, like, what are we doing? Right. Advance. Install advance. We need to deal with the urban renewal. You basically can't tech for boat. Even the good tech cards aren't actually good. If there's no hope for Sec Nexus 409 anymore, it's so cute. You could try it. It's probably not good. Like, boat is just better. Boat you don't have to pay for. Sec Nexus you have to pay for after installing. But I mean, if people are going to be icing up and you can't get boat counters, maybe you play Security Nexus. I could see that. Okay, that was a quick corp game. Oh, they've left. Didn't mean to be discouraging. Maybe I could phrase that differently. I don't know. A lot of times I assume people want to know, especially given what they were saying. Uh, 3x priority construction, 3x Mosvingo. So then we're playing Wayland Glacier. Wayland can't really play Glacier. Can it? Oh, maybe that's good. Can runners really have a robust econ if they're not run-based right now? No! Nexus is also 1 point. Is also one... Wait, what? Oh, it's 1 per turn. Okay, yeah. You can also point out to them how saving that smoke credit on the initial BC run was worth doing. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's really important, although that's really just an ob thing. That requires... yeah. Anyways. Just one more APOC runner game, please? Yeah, let's do it. If runner econ is run-based, then as a corp you can leverage that. Okay, yeah, we have a request for APOC, and I have time for another game, so let's do it. Runner, casual, create. APOC lat. Okay, let me just edit this window. All right, yeah, let's play some APOC lat. Oh, I need to make this bigger. That's fine. We'll just have self-modifying code cut off. People will understand. Did I tell you you're the bus? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. If people want to see something, I'll play it. If I have time, which I do. Dinner's at... It's at 6... It starts at 6:15. Again, really weird that there's a set time I need to go eat at. Yeah, I actually haven't played APOC lat, well, actually, I've never actually played APOC lat before I played it at Intercontinentals. I think I just understood the deck enough, and I had watched people play it, because I don't think there's any games on this deck. Yeah, I don't have any games on this deck. But but yeah, it's a good deck. And there's the third Epoch in there now. At Canadian Nationals, I didn't have the Beth, and I really felt like I wanted it because there's sometimes where you kind of sit and you wait, and Beth can get quite a bit of value. Earth Station with too many Chrysium, probably still somewhat soft about. Yeah, I can see that. Nah, write it down. Write it down. Earth Station. Priority Construction. Mosvingo. Chrysium Grid. Maybe. That's a Glacier deck. That's a Glacier deck I can see working. It's like high school, yeah. The fact that you can spend 8 on Endurance, 8 pocket, and still consider it a positive move is stunning. Yeah, it is. If you rush really hard, ES might work, but it's tricky. Earth Station. I've always wanted Earth Station to be good. Has problems playing Spin Doctor. It totally does. Boat is actually a super cheap breaker. You just pay for the first few breaks during the install for those counters. Yeah, exactly. So you're paying 8, but then you can break 2 pieces of ice, at least, with it. So like thinking about it that way actually makes a lot of sense. You pay 8, you can break 2 pieces of ice. You don't have to install any other breaker. It's really good. Boat really only costs like 2 credits if you value the counters correctly. Well, no. See, the thing is, you're valuing the counters, but you're also valuing the fact that you've installed an icebreaker. Because when you just value the counters, you assume that the icebreaker is already installed. But here, we're installing one of each. Like, we're installing a Fractor, a Killer, and a Decoder, and we're paying to use it. And then when we APOC the board, like, it's just value. It's just amazing how you don't lose runner side at tourney. What do you mean? Don't lose runner side? Oh, like playing the APOC lat and not losing because I haven't played the deck before. Yeah, it's just I understood the deck enough. And also runners were really far ahead. Runners are just a lot better than Corpse. And Corpse need to like the only way that Corpse win is they need to have some kind of trick or something that is essentially them winning the game in the deck building phase. Anansi is a nice counter to Boat since you cannot break less than the 3 subs. Yeah. Seamless Earth Station. Yeah, I mean we haven't put any influence into the deck yet. Maybe. I need to think about that. There might be an Earth Station Glacier. That might be a real thing. I've always liked Sand Earth Station with like Offworld and Oaktown. Earth that was the funnest deck. Was you play Sand and you play Arella, and then you fill your deck with all the small agendas, including 3 hostels and like 2 standoffs, because the hostels and the standoffs are free to score. So you score something, and then you can Arella the hostel or the standoff into the remote, and it comes in with a counter, and Sansan says its advancement requirement is 1. So you just score it right away. So you can just chain an infinite number of hostels and standoffs when you score anything. Maybe we play Arella Earth Station. Maybe that's a thing. Sansan City Grid, yeah, very good. And we're also, I mean, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe you play Sansan and you play Above the Law. You play 7 3/2s. You play Above the Law, 3 Atlas, 3 Azif Protocols, and 2 GFIs. Maybe? Maybe? I don't like Vlad. Vlad, you kind of have to set up. Arella. Arella Salvatore. Which is... Oh, I should save this. Oh, I guess we can just search for it This is what I'm referring to for Arella. It says, whenever an agenda is scored from this server, you may install a card from HQ ignoring all costs and place one advancement token on it. So when you score an agenda, Arella puts a card in there with one advancement, and then you can score it right away because Sansan makes it a one advancement requirement. Vlad and Seamless. Yeah, Vlad is 4 influence. It's not Vlad. If you're playing Vlad, you'd rather play Sansan. I think Vlad is too slow. And you probably want to spend influence on Ice too, like Fairchild 3. You probably want to port Fairchilds. Malapert for the value tutor. Oh yeah. Arella Sansan. Chain. So you take all your standoffs and your hostiles and you replace them with non-agendas of your choice as you score them. The issue with that deck, it's really fun. It's really fun. But you're incentivized to not score, and you're really incentivized to just like hoard agendas in hand as you build a clown car upgrade remote, and then you score, and then you go off, and hope that the agendas are still in HQ when you're ready to do that. Earth Station tag punishment trust op to recur Sansans. That's a good idea. And then you lose to light the fire. Yeah, you lose on R&D 90% of the time too. Yeah. Yeah, that was the other issue with that deck. Is you have like Atlas above the law, like sales team at the time, and then you have hostiles and you have standoffs and you have like 15 agendas in your deck. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna add that into the idea tank here. Sansan and Trust Op. I do like that. Although we need to figure out what the tag package will need to be in order to justify the Trust Ops. And then also, is it better than Boom? But playing versus 8-box much more fun when they don't see it coming. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll get a game. Public Trail. Public Trail's... Yeah, Public Trail's probably what we gotta do. It's 2 influence. Oh. AI. It's okay. I don't know if playing Public Trail just for Trust Op is worth it. We could play Public Trail and Retribution. It's Econ Warfare and Trail. Econ Warfare, Trail, Retribution. And then we can trash both, too. In addition to the fact that we're playing Glacier and we can block Boat from getting counters, we can also trash it. Which is, if you can't tell, is me saying that that's unnecessary. I don't know if that's good enough. I don't know if Econ Warfare Trail is justified just for Trust Op getting Sansan back. I think that's too much of an edge case. Like, I think at that point, if that's all that's for, I would rather just play Sansan, and if it gets trashed, it gets trashed. The Earth Station deck probably loses to your Bow 419. Well, I mean, this whole thing came up is because we're priority constructing Muzz Vingos. The problem is you put in also Chrysium Grid is good against 419. I don't think it loses up front. Like, obviously, I don't think it loses obviously. But maybe it still does. Okay, we got a game. Sometimes they do get a ton of boat counters. The problem is you put in all these good cards to try to make the bad cards work. Why not just use the good? Yeah. Okay. Let's blow up an Acme. So the interesting thing about this is that we're actually not mulliganing for we're not mulliganing for Rizeki because we don't have Rizeki. And when every time I play Shaper, it's like, okay, we got a mulligan for Rizeki, but that's not true. I think we still mulligan this hand though, because Simulchip and Into the Depths are bad cards and Telework is slow. So we really just have draw. We also have 3 rigging ups, so we want to get our rigging ups ideally before we install boat. Okay, hedge fund, draw a card, Ice HQ. 5 cards in hand. Let's go draw. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. We have our 3rd boat, which is not necessary. In one of my games at Canadian Nationals, in the first cut game, I wanted to install Rizeki's too. In the first game of the cut, I mulliganed and I drew in the first 3 cards after letting my opponent cut the deck. They cut the deck, and the first 3 cards I drew was Endurance, and I just stopped drawing and I was like showing people around. Okay. We go rigging up boat. What is that? That's. I mean, I guess we'll just let them score it. 1, 2, 3, 4 seems good. 1, 2. Oh. Okay. So I was gonna say he hasn't. He needs to show me that he has 4 2s, and now he has shown me that he has 4 2s. So I think we run this. Yeah. And then we'll draw, and we'll get another draw. Yeah, that was him going, oh crap. Maybe he already knows we're on APOC off a telework install, which I think is not. I mean, you could make that call. I think in the past, before bans, you can make that call, but now, just because I have telework doesn't necessarily mean I'm on APOC. But that looked like a, oh no, I need to start rushing. 4 cards in hand. Let's install Stone Ship. Let's run Archives. Let's take a credit. Let's hit the telework. And get a Latra. Yeah, it's not a good start for Acme. Oh. Am I APOCing? I could. I think we APOC here. Run Archives. So the R&D ice was installed second. The HQ ice was installed first. We have. What did we do turn 1? We went hedge fund, draw a card, ice HQ. So this is not Hydra. It could be Data Ward. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's well. I mean, if I didn't have the stone ship, I wouldn't have gone for it because with at 4 counters, you get to fifth counter. You get to a fifth counter by making a successful run, and then stone ship gets you a sixth counter. Very important. Um, this is so OP. Like what? Is that allowed? Shouldn't be allowed. Oh, we found treasure. Absolute treasure. So now he needs to get to a position where he can res the HQ ice. You would have been comfy at 4 counters. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But Data Ward, because he was at like 11 or 12 credits. So Data Ward already costs you 4 counters. So Data Ward IP block you need to have 6 counters for. And F2P on archives makes a lot of sense. Draw, install, credit. So we'll just I guess we'll run that. That's fine. I just poke HQ and try to win. I don't need to, so I won't. Pawn shop is gonna start kicking. Good stuff. What is that? Wait, what? I'm happy to run this because I just get a boat counter. Diesel gets me to 8 cards, and then I install 2 of the cards, and I have to pitch one. Is that okay? We kind of need this pinhole, so it's actually not okay. We need the pinhole for Void. And we found the second APOC. We have 3 APOC in our deck. Like, this was the issue with this deck before, was that we had 2 APOCs, and we sometimes played an early one, and then we can't find the other one. So I just run this now, right? What is happening? I could pinhole it, but this is just bad. Right? Okay. Bit desperate at the end there. Yeah. The 2 rigging ups and 2 boats, kind of insane. Little bit insane. If you hit the F2P last, that's fine as well. Yeah, it's true. I was thinking, see, that might actually be a very good argument for running the other 2 centrals first and then running archives last, because putting F2P on archives, as I've said and shown in a previous game, that is a very common thing to do, because F2P on archives is just a good place for an F2P. Because it's like bulky enough that it can hold its own there, and you don't need to put more ice. So it's highly possible, highly likely, I would say, that the F2P is on archives. But why I ran our archives first was because maybe he doesn't res, and he wants to get a little bit more money first. Because if it was in case it was a big ice and he reses that, then he like opens up centrals, and then some people won't res if it's a big ice because they're like, oh no, I've got an agenda in hand, or like, I don't want you to get runs on R&D. At least you're going on archives where there's no access. So yeah, if you're going for APOC and you don't go for that, maybe they won't res line, then you probably go archives last. But it's really really risky. I guess it's risky either way. I was gonna say it's risky because what if it's not F2P and you run the other two centrals and you actually find out you can't APOC? But is a that argument doesn't work because it's just three unknown ice. What are your thoughts on replacing archive memories, preemptive action, and reality plus Drago deck with restore genotyping and or distract the masses? So replace with restore is a very direct approach, which I think sounds good. So cutting the 3 archive memories for 2 restores. Unfortunately, so there's 2 drawbacks, right? Drawback number 1, and this is, well, I mean, they're both big drawbacks. Drawback number 1 is restore costs 3 influence. So for 3 copies of archive memories, you can only get 2 copies of restore. Drawback number 2 is you cannot use restore on operations. So you're much more limited in terms of your tag punishment and your ability to recur it, which kind of means that when, especially with no preemptive, no archive mem, when you play a tag punishment card, you have to spin doctor it right away. Well, not right away, but you need to spin doctor the ones that you want to play over and over again. Genotyping. How much influence is genotyping? Genotyping's 2 influence? Genotyping's 2 influence. So, I mean, preemptive is 0 influence, and genotyping's 2 influence. I wouldn't play genotyping, because your influence is better spent elsewhere. I would much rather play restore, which is a very direct Drago recursion. And then distract the masses is a very similar situation, because I think distract the masses, does this cost an influence for some reason? No. Okay, never mind. Runner gains 2, trash up to 2 cards from HQ, then shuffle up to 2 cards from archives into R&D. Remove distract mass from games instead of trashing it. That's fine. Yeah, maybe you can play this, but runner gains 2. Like, I guess you're doing this to recur non-agenda cards, because if you're using this to shuffle agendas back, then you're much better off just playing attitude adjustment, which there's already 2 of in the deck. So I guess if you play and you use your spin doctors and then you find that you want more recursion, then maybe you play distract the masses, but giving the runner $2 is also quite bad. So I would not play this. That was a very comfy APOC, though. Restore works for Drago, but doesn't bring back any punishment cards exactly. Obviously, the answer is defense construct. Yeah. You can, so one thing to keep in mind, is that this is the only card in the game that can remove agendas from the corp side. Remove agendas without having to score them. So if you, I don't know, like maybe it's relevant. Maybe it's relevant at some point where you're just playing this really grindy game, and you need to minimize the chances that the runner can access an agenda, and you have your agendas in hand, and you just pitch them, and then you restore, and then you RFG 2 of the agendas away, because there's only 6 agendas in the deck. So the 6 agendas, if you play restore, you can get rid of 2 of them. And if you play another restore, you can get rid of the other 2. And then you're basically left with 1 degree mill and 1 Bologna. Yeah. Oh god, bin the degree mills and only keep the Bolognas. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of all of the same agenda, because if there's 3 in there, you have to restore one of them, and then the other 2 will go away. So the best you can do is get rid of 2 degree mills and 2 bolognas, and then 1 bologna, 1 degree mill is left. So, like, this is a thought that I had, and I guess the question on my mind is the ethics of this play, but I don't actually see why ethics of this play would even come into this. So basically, so the game plan is this, right? Your opponent doesn't have Mad Dash, and you restore a Bologna, as long as you're planning to win the game. So, right. So let me finish this thought. I mean, there is a scenario where you are planning to win the game, but let's say you restore a Bologna, and the other 2 Bolognas go away, and then the runner like gets on top of you. They start running everywhere, and there's no way you can score an agenda ever again. So the best line for you is to bin all the degree mills and then restore one of them. So now you have a Bologna, they can steal a degree mill, and then the game will just go to time and you will tie at 3-3. So there's that scenario, and then there's the other scenario where you have scored 2 agendas. Oh, actually, wait, no, you don't even tie at 3-3. You play Backroom Machinations, and then you go to 4 and they're at 3, and then you win, but you win on time. Is that okay? That's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that, because that is you're sitting in the game, and you're like, how do I win this game? And your only way of winning the game is to RFG all the agendas and win the game on time 4 points to 3. Winning on time always feels terrible. Exactly. When Obo and Jinteki are right there. Thanks for answering my question. Yeah, of course, anytime. What are your thoughts on Peace in Our Time and APOC decks? Worth giving the court money to res if you can just APOC everything? Yeah. I don't think it's... the issue with Peace in Our Time is that it costs influence, and is not necessarily the effect. I think if Peace in Our Time did not cost influence, I could see you playing that in lat. So if I pull up my APOC lat, if Peace in Our Time did not cost influence, then I would cut a telework for it for sure, and I would at least have 1 copy in the deck. That might be it, though. That might be it. Maybe I'll cut a telework for 1 Peace in Our Time. The thing is, it's true. So you gain 9, they gain 5. It gives them money to res, which is a bad thing. But if you're going to APOC the board and it helps you get set up faster so that you can APOC, that's good. So the downside of it is that you can't run that turn, and you kind of, assuming you have a boat on the board, you want to run every turn because you want to get your boat counter. So there's a bit of anti-synergy there. It's a dead card against sports because you never want to give sports metal money. So if you're ever playing a matchup where you're not going to APOC like sports metal, then it's a dead card. And then I guess the nail in the coffin is it costs an influence, and having to spend influence out of this influence suite is just awful. Like I was asked earlier, do I think this deck got worse? And it's like, yeah, I guess it did because I chose to play 3 pad taps instead of the 3rd Apocalypse. But honestly, cutting the 3 pad taps for the 3rd Apocalypse is not that much of a downgrade, if it is at all. Like, I think based off of my games with the APOC lat, you just want to APOC, and 2 didn't show up enough. Like, usually I found the first one, but then the second one doesn't show, and you've got like a 1 in 20, and you're just digging for this last APOC. So, like, I think a 3rd APOC's a great inclusion for that 3 influence. And then, like, the panel threading's really important because you need to trash voids, you need to trash Chrysium grids. The Clot and the Stargate. The Stargate is just very good in an APOC deck, but it's also really needed against sports metal, and then the Clot is also really needed against sports metal. What are you playing to get the agendas in the bin, or do we just hope they don't check it? Oh, well, yeah. They just don't check it. Well, because when you play the R plus, putting agendas in the bin is actually not that bad of a play, because you usually have like a bunch of operations and yeah, a bunch of operations in your hand, and the agendas aren't doing anything. And they also protect themselves. So especially early, like later in the game, this isn't true, but early, Bologna costs the runner 5s to steal. Degree Mill costs the runner 2 cards to shuffle back. They don't want to do that, so it's actually actively good for you if the runner steals an agenda early in the game. So just throwing the agendas away, and then eventually, because you have 2 copies of Attitude Adjustment, you'll just play Attitude Adjustment, and you'll just shuffle them back, or you'll draw Spin Doctor and you'll shuffle them back. Attitude Adjustment you'll do when you find it. Spin Doctor, you can just do it when they run. Otherwise, you can just leave them and have them sit in the bin. So binning agendas is not a bad play at all in R+. So you just throw them out. If you remember, if you were able to watch my APAC game against R+, playing Control at, like I did end up stealing that Bologna that I accessed off the top of R&D, but I only did that because I was so far ahead and I had the resources and I had a good enough start that I felt like I could steal it. But stealing the Bologna is just a bad, like, it's just a thing you don't need to do. And I really, like, objectively, it is better to not steal the Bologna, even in that situation. Because you can just have a bunch of money, keep the remote on lock, and if they can't win, you're going to win eventually. I guess Jinteki could play Moonpool easily in this plan. That's true. Yeah, if we're just trying to RFG our agendas, there's ways to just build a deck that does that. Yeah, it's dinner time. That's true. I do gotta go. I was considering cutting a clot for it and praying for Glacier matchups. Oh, for Peace in Our Time? Yeah, I haven't, like, again, like, this is the game you just witnessed was the only game that I have played with APOC Lat in the last month, despite Interconts and Canadian Nationals, me playing that deck. Like, it's the only game that I've played of the APOC Lat that was not in a tournament. So all the things that I'm saying come from things that I've seen, based on how I've seen this deck perform played by other people, playing against it, and playing in the tournaments. So I have not tested APOC Lat nearly as much as I would any other deck that I would be prepping for a tournament. And the reason that I chose to take it was because it just seems like a really good meta call for the situation at Intercontinentals, which was people playing Next Activation Command and trying to rush out against PD. And if you're familiar with PD and APOC Max, that was like a 100% win all the time. So APOC is good against PD. I was expecting a lot of PD, so that's why I took APOC Lat to Interconts, and then it just felt good enough that I was just going to stick with it for Canadian Nationals. Up until the night before Canadian Nationals, my plan was to play Control at Canadian Nationals. So I was going to play APOC at Intercons, and then the next day I was going to bring Control. But I ended up just sticking with the APOC. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, I always say this. Like, if people have questions in chat, or like if you message me directly, like there's like a couple people that I know just like ask me random things, and I'll always respond, and I'm happy to do that. Sometimes I don't have the opportunity to respond for a little bit because I'm very busy, but I will get to it eventually. So yeah, I enjoy it. Anyways, yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. If you're watching the VOD, I hope you enjoyed. I know that probably not as much people would have liked to catch me live because I didn't really announce this at all anywhere. But yeah, I think all of my streams unless I'm playing in an online tournament. If I'm playing in an online tournament, I'll always stream it. But if I'm not playing an online tournament, then I'll do streams like this where it's just I have time. I'm gonna play some Netrunner. I'm just gonna come and stream it, and it's not gonna have too much prior notice. So I expect most views to come from the VOD. But yeah, those of you that are here, yeah, thanks for dropping by. To the people that were in Europe who have gone to sleep a long time ago. Yeah, appreciate everybody who watches, and yeah, I will see everybody in the next one. And if I don't do one before Worlds, I'll hopefully see a lot of people at Worlds. Okay, thanks.